Hey, Disturbing listeners, Love is Blind, 2 years later, 3 new episodes on Netflix. Let's watch.
It's not embarrassing.
Unfortunately, everything did not go well with Romel and myself. I thought that this night was going to be amazing, maybe ended with a nice kiss, maybe ended with a future with Romel, but it has not.
I think some people do better in social situations, and some people gotta kind of like, you gotta kind of like be with, you know, like.
Right, exactly. Some people are really good mingling with randos, and some people, they're not. So, that's a good point. So hopefully Diamond doesn't, take it too much to heart. It's just a bad moment, and if it's not a typical date situation, right?
I get that. At the same time, though, it's like,
But it's
you
like,
know
yeah.
what this is. It's not about you. You gotta. This is a supportive type of situation tonight.
Right.
I'm not gonna be able to tend to you every 5 seconds.
Totally, if you were married or in a long-term relationship. But my impression with Diamond is that this might be their first date. That's what it sounds like. And so if you don't even know if you want to be in a relationship with someone and you're just sitting in the corner for hours, I would imagine. Now, again, he could have been nicer about it. He could have said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm bored out of my mind, and I feel like I'm a total burden for you. I want you to have, let's go on a date tomorrow. Let's put it on the calendar." He didn't do that, so that's on him. The fact that he left, though, I think it is understandable under the circumstances.
Because
He was going to contact me or hit me up, but that never happened. I had to message him today. Honestly, if I feel like if I never messaged him,
Then he wouldn't have reached
He
out.
would never reached out. But it's extremely hard to find a good quality man. Honestly, the key word is quality. I've been searching high and low. I've literally followed every rule in the rule book of how to find a man, and it's just devastating to me that I am still single over 30 right now.
There's internet guides on how to meet the right man, and I will say that a lot of those are pretty dubious. And by the way, if you ever come across one, feel free to email it to me. I'd love to agree and disagree with any of the points that they make. And I've worked with a lot of clients on this very issue. They will have a hard time. They will be having a hard time meeting someone, or they'll be fresh off of a divorce and going back into the dating life, and they're struggling, and they're meeting a lot of people that don't like them, or they're meeting people that do like them, but they're the wrong sort of person, or they try someone out for 6 months and then they find that it's a total disaster. And it's easy to get demoralized and to believe Diamond's narrative now is that she's not meeting quality men of good quality. And it's possible, but I think another way to look at it is, just bad matches and finding someone that's compatible with you, finding someone that vibes with you, finding someone that is on the same kind of page as you. It takes a long time, especially if you're looking for a soulmate kind of a person. And it's not uncommon to find that person in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s. This notion, this rom-com notion that when you're ready for the love, it happens, and you find that person when you're 25 and you get married and you live happily ever after. That is an extremely rare situation. It happens, but it's very rare, considering the fact that half of all marriages are end in divorce. That chances are, whenever you get married, it's a coin flip as to whether or not this is the one. So I wish that Diamond, just says, well, it didn't work out. I guess he's not the one for me. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't into me enough. Who knows? Let's try, get back on the wagon or what do you say? try again. And now for some people, the trying is a lot of labor and a lot of emotional outpour, requirement, a lot of emotional, there's a big emotional toll in dating. There's ups and downs of emotions. You can't do it that much. But what I found, and, for those who listen to the podcast, Bob, who will talk about when he met his wife, Colleen, he dated hundreds of women in the Seattle area. And it was a numbers game. It just takes a long time to find the one. Now, some people find that person on the first try. Sometimes it takes 300 people before you find the right one. And I think that an attitude of, well, yeah, I'll tell you this. The people who end up finding someone quicker, anecdotally, often have an attitude of, well, you win some, you lose some. I guess we weren't compatible. They tend to have a different narrative about why things didn't work out in the past. More of a question mark, like, well, I don't know. Maybe we weren't compatible. Maybe he wasn't into me. Maybe we wouldn't have worked out anyway. I mean, there were a few things about him that I don't really know if that would have worked out. But, I'm sure I'll meet the right one. Those people usually have more resilience as they move forward, obviously. People who have narratives of all the men I've dated in the past are all, non-quality men. They're like terrible human beings because, they didn't do this, this, and this. And quality men are extremely hard to find. They're like a needle in a haystack. And I'm old, and I'm Diamond, she's like, I'm in my 30s, which, by the way, is still very young, according to me anyway. And I'm never going to meet the person. And I find that those people have a much harder time withstanding the ups and downs of dating. Now, everyone's entitled to their narrative, but I recommend at least analyzing your narrative and thinking about how that might be adding to your stress or contributing to the difficulties, really. Because, like, for Diamond right now, it's not necessary. I don't know. We don't know if that guy is wrong for Diamond or not. He might be extremely socially anxious, and so anxious that he couldn't be polite in that moment. When people get stressed out, it's hard for them to be polite. So who knows? Maybe that was what was going on. And maybe if they just, go to a movie, the two of them, maybe they'll have a great time. So, but she now thinks he's an unquality person, instead of just thinking, well, maybe it was just the venue. Maybe we'll try something else. Let me know what you think in the comments, because I'm curious about what y'all think of what I just said.
Literally, like,
It is.
you was minding your business,
Yeah.
and now
Right.
you a wife. You know what I mean? So it's like, literally, when you're not expecting this, it'll happen naturally and organically.
And when it does happen, it's gonna be like, ooh, I'm so glad that none of that other stuff worked out.
Right.
Amen.
Okay. I'll be like, where you been all my life? I'm mad at you.
Right, like you
I've been
I've been waiting for you, like I told Cameron, for 30 years.
When it's time, it's cool.
Yeah,
it just
it'll
ain't
happen.
time. Yeah.
You'll be
It's
all right.
You got a lot to
Yeah, good pep talk from two good friends saying, look, when it happens, it'll happen. It'll be natural. It won't be so hard. And that's generally true, although you will find some couples will go through a really rough time in the beginning and then have smooth sailing afterwards, But oftentimes, it is relationships that last a long time. Often in the beginning, they don't require very much work, especially when you contrast it with other dating relationships where you're really trying to shove a square peg into a round hole. All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.